Well, it's been a couple months and I haven't made any videos for a little while. I did try to make an update video for the channel, but for some weird reason I can't edit it. So I figured I'd just give an update on my setup for my audio in the living room. I kind of abandoned one of my other setups, so I'm mostly going to focus on this for now. This is intended to be my all 90s setup with the exception of my Sony turntable. Right now I have a Sony receiver from the 90s. I swapped it out with the one I had previously. I have a Sony CD player from the 90s, which unfortunately it will not read the RF or the infrared from a remote control, so I can't use a remote on it. I did have some Sony tape decks, and I decided to kind of abandon those for now until I find a nice working one, because unfortunately every single Sony tape deck I have from the 90s and even the 80s has a belt issue, and I haven't had much luck taking them apart to repair them. I did also finally swap out my speakers. I found two 90 Sony speakers. Not only are they bigger, they sound a lot better than the shelf ones that I had. It's a nicer quality of audio. I've also organized most of my albums here. Most of my CDs and cassettes that aren't a Sony release are in storage. The only exceptions are all the Pink Floyd and King Crimson albums. I also have the PlayStation 4 games there for the moment, until I can change my setup over there. I've also dedicated under my turntable to all my Sony cassettes that aren't pre-recorded. I think there's one or two pre-recorded ones shoved down there. As well on display I have my Pink Floyd VHSs, and then as well as a CED of Pink Floyd. That's for the Selective Vision, quote-unquote, players. Some people call it Selective Vision, I believe. Evidently that was a marketing term that was also used for the VHSs, so people get confused. But it's a CED. It kind of works like a vinyl video player, where inside that's a vinyl, the machine feeds it in, and then it plays off of that, and then it takes it back out once you plug it in. I don't have a player for it now, so I haven't bothered with it. It's more of a display piece for the moment. And right now I also have the VHSs through Sony release on display. I'll eventually get something set up with those, but for now they're kind of just there. They're all music based, so I figured that'd be good. So now my current goals are: 1, I need to add a Sony tape deck that matches the set from the 90s that works fine. 2, I want to find a standalone Super Audio CD player from the 90s. That has not been easy. Number 2, I want to find a Super Audio CD player from the 90s. I haven't had much luck finding one for cheap, or one that's black and kind of matches the setup. I also do have some Super Audio CD players, so I can play those at the moment. I do also have a follow-up video idea that's related to that. I do also have 3 mini disc tape decks, and I don't know how I want to set them up, so I have them off here for now. I also finally picked up a DAT deck, which unfortunately is way bigger than this, so I can't set it up with all the other stuff. I'll have to figure something else out. I might try to see if it will fit under the turntable. It might be about that size. I've also been avoiding multi-disc changers, such as the 5-disc changers and the multi-discs up to like 50 or 100 or so, just because they're less reliable, and I don't usually listen to that many CDs in a row. So that's my current goals. I already have the DAT deck. I don't know if I'll be able to find a smaller one. Hopefully I can find a Super Audio CD deck that also fits onto this. And then the mini disc decks I plan to add once I get something else taken care of. I also don't think I'm going to add those massive Sony speakers that I had to this setup, just because of how cramped my living room are. I have 2 sets of them now, and I'm going to hold off and use them for a different audio setup or video setup. Another neat thing I want to show you guys before I go is I picked up the Super Audio CD of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here a few years ago, and now that I have players, I definitely think this is my favorite mix of it. I'm not going to show them all on screen because it's kind of hard to hold them all, but I picked up all the immersion box sets of Pink Floyd. I Wish You Were Here, The Wall, and Dark Side of the Moon. Those are kind of neat. They have them on both CD audio with some bonus tracks, some demos and such not, as well as some live performances, and then DVD audio of the albums, which is pretty cool because they have the original quadraphonic mixes from back in the 70s, which would be 4 channels instead of 2, and it wouldn't be surround sound, so that's pretty neat to actually listen to. I might do a video about my Pink Floyd collection in the future. I probably want to expand a little bit. There's a few things that I'm waiting for at the moment. I do also want to do a follow-up video of my cassette collection, and then I also plan to do a record collection video. So that's pretty much an update for my audio setup for now. I don't know how easily I'll be able to get a hold of those other components, but expect next time to have all my mini disc decks prepared. Until next time, I hope everybody stays safe and is enjoying their audio setups. I know it's been a hard year for a lot of people out there, so hopefully we can all get through this. Thank you, and you have a good one.